All right guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Aaron with HRT, and today we're going to be covering EDC essentials, some of the basic kit that you're going to want for your daily carry. So the whole point to your everyday carry and what we're covering here today is finding the balance, finding what works for you. Hopefully through this we lay out some other options, things for you to consider. The biggest thing to focus on, at least from my perspective, is going to be finding the balance between comfort, access to your gear, the concealability, and then rolling into that your lifestyle choice, your clothing, and how all of that ties together around your specific body type. All right, starting off looking at your firearm choice. What are you gonna pick? What is the firearm that you're gonna carry? This is one where size does matter. Internet, don't let me down, get in the comments. I already know, I'm expecting what to see here, but come on, get in there, guys. Size matters when it comes to the firearms for the concealability and the shootability. Your smaller firearms, your compact firearms, sure, you can put a red dot on there, you can add your flashlights, have a little bit more weight, but these are not as easy to shoot and shoot well as your full-size firearms. There's more mass, there's more weight, the grip is gonna fit your hand better. They're just simply easier to shoot. But not everybody can conceal, for some people, 50 Desert Eagle. Some people are really gonna have to deal with something in the compact size. Regardless of which route you end up going, train with it, use it, spend time on it, and become proficient with it. In addition to the firearm choice itself, is going to be what caliber. I know a lot of you guys love your .45, you love God's caliber. It may work for you, that may be what you shoot best with. Outstanding. I prefer the 9mm simply for it's been proven to be effective, and then also for the magazine capacity. But it's all about finding the balance and what works for you. No matter what route you go on the firearm choice, train with it, put in the time. Don't go to the range and only shoot your range toys. Work with your concealed carry weapon as well. All right, rolling into holster choice. There's lots of different options here on the market. You've got appendix carry, you've got inside the waistband, something more of the strong side. You've got outside the waistband, lots of different holster options. We're gonna cover a few here. When it comes to outside the waistband, here's two options. You've got your hard Kydex style, and then you've also got a formed leather. The biggest thing that I wanna point out here, both of these have 2 points of contact with your belt. It's going to pull the gun in tighter to your body, make it easier to conceal, and also keep it right where it should be when you go to grab it. If it's only got a single point contact to your belt, you can deal with a little bit of flopping, a little bit of more movement, and it may print and be a little bit more noticeable. Moving along to the inside the waistband, you've got some options that are just going to be for your firearm itself, adjustable cant, tuck this in your body, strong side carry, whatever you're looking for. From an appendix standpoint, there are different options that are going to have some flex to them. Some are going to be rigid, spare mags. Find what works for you. If it's not comfortable, you're not going to carry it. Anyone that has carried guns long enough knows there's a drawer in your house full of holsters that you've chucked, thrown away, didn't work for you, didn't hold the gun the way you wanted it to, or present it for your draw the way that you wanted. It's going to be trial and error. I would love to say there's one holster that's going to be the best. There isn't. Find whatever works for you, your body style, your firearm, and go from there. Another one to touch on, don't have an example here, but your pocket carry, your micro guns. If you're going to go that route, make sure you've got a holster dedicated to it, covers the trigger, keeps it safe when you try to conceal that in your pocket. So next thing to consider is going to be your dress, what you wear and how you use that to help conceal your firearm or any other gear that you are carrying on your body. Your clothes, we often will get in our head about printing. Is the grip gonna show and I lean over? Is the slide showing depending on what I'm doing? Too often we'll get in our head about it. No one cares. Very few people notice a little bit of a bulge there. But if it's enough that you are always focused on it, you're gonna move different. How you work through the world is going to be a little different because you're aware, I've got that gun on me. So Try to find something that is comfortable, that does conceal. Consider plaids, consider non-solid colors. Those also help to break up that outline of the gun if there is a little bit of a little print there, but it's not as big of a deal as your brain is going to make it out to be. So moving on to the belt side, what are you using to keep that gun on your person? There are reinforced belts that are designed for concealed carry. They're going to hold the gun a little bit tighter to you. They're going to have a little bit more rigidity there. Some of them have different buckle styles that are going to allow us a little bit more of a on-the-fly adjustment. You had a little bit more to eat that night for dinner. That gun is just digging into you. A couple clicks, you get a little bit of breathing room. The other thing to consider here is going to be for your appendix carry. Dealing with a larger buckle like this while you're trying to have your holster clipped in here can be a tight fit. I saw it on one of John Lovell's videos, and I've been doing it ever since. Roll that buckle to the side, get it out from your center of your body, and let that holster just clip onto just the webbing itself. Seasonal changes. So clothing there, when we switch into winter to the colder months, all of a sudden it becomes kind of playtime for the concealed carry. If I want to carry my competition pistol, and what the hey, a spare 20-round mag, why not? It's amazing what a sweater can do. This is gone under a sweatshirt. So in the winter months, some of the bigger guns that are easier to shoot, easier to be proficient with, they become valid options in the winter months. But if you're completely comfortable with your compact or what you normally wear, go for it. Keep going with it. But the added layers and all that can add additional layers you've got to deal with when you go to get to your firearm. So whether it's summer, whether it's the winter, train with it, train with what you wear. Anything that impedes your ability to get to your firearm, train through that. All right, ladies, your options when it comes to concealed carry is going to be, could be the same, could be different. Let's face it, I've never worn a skirt, not going to. It's not my lifestyle of choice. But for y'all, there are the inner thigh holsters. There are belly bands. You have purse carry for off body. There's lots of options and things that are available to y'all. Find out what works for you and go from there. Speaking of the off body carry, for things like what you choose to wear that day isn't going to work, but you still want to have your firearm with you. This is a sling bag that we're releasing later on. And so even from there, quick rip and you've got access to your firearm, even when it's not something you're carrying on your person. All right, in addition to your firearm, your holster selection, we also want to talk about a little bit about some of the other pieces of gear you may want to have on your body. Spare magazines, always a good idea. There are holsters that have that integrated in addition to the actual firearm. If you've got a holster that works for you, but you still want a spare mag, there's tons of standalone mag pouches out there on the market. Find one that works, go that route. For everyday carry, sure, we love our OTF, our knives. The reality is it's not necessarily always going to be a weapon. We use these things for opening Amazon packages more than anything else, but there's still value there. It's still a good thing to have on you. Another piece is going to be a light of some sort. This is our HRT EDC light, ridiculously powerful for its size, and then also a nice little belt clip there so you can have it in your pocket ready when you need it. Another one to consider is just kind of one of those tactical pins. The tip is going to be something that could be used for breaking a window if needed, but it's another little add-on piece, something to consider. Something we don't have on the table here, might be a good idea, might work for you, is going to be medical gear. So there's tons of options. I've seen ankle wraps that will allow you to have different pieces of medical kit on your person. Keep it in a backpack if you wanted. There's also the less than lethal option. Some people really like and are comfortable having pepper spray or something like that on their keychain. So that's another little piece to consider. Again, the balance, find what really works for you. All right, so we've covered a lot of the kit, a lot of the toys, a lot of the gear that's on the table, but the piece we haven't covered yet is you. You need to spend the time training with your firearm, training with what you choose to carry, and being proficient with it. That's going to include your holster work, your draw time, or you're spending time practicing your draw, spending time dry firing, making sure that when you go to the range and you are live firing, it's not always with your favorite range toy. Take the time, work with your carry weapon, and be proficient with it as well. The other piece I want to follow up with here, this is not a stock slide, at which point there's something about this firearm that has been changed from the way it was manufactured. Take the time to train with it, make sure things are working. Anytime you add other brands, aftermarket things, you're introducing new tolerances when you're going from what was a single stack mag to something that has now been configured as a double stack. How does that change your gear? Is it still as reliable as it once was? If you're not training with it, you don't know that. So put in that time, do yourself that favor, and make sure everything is running and that you're running as best as you can. So final piece here is going to be situational awareness. If you're choosing to carry a firearm, be aware, take time learning the laws, the legal, dig into that, know what you can and can't do, where you can be, and then and as we said in the beginning, find the balance. If it's not comfortable, you're not going to carry it, you're not going to be proficient with it. So hopefully something in here you found to be useful. If there's something that wasn't mentioned and you really want others to know, get in the comments. I'd love to see some active discussions going on there. But as always, thanks for watching, guys.